Well, it's been a great week. The hospitality's been second to none. We're real excited. When we got the invitation, about a month ago, we're just so excited that we got it to have an opportunity to come to this very prestigious bowl. And with Buffalo Wild Wings online now, that's an awesome sponsor. Our players now, I think, you just want to play football now. We've been down here for a while, so it's been fun. I think we've also, we're focused up pretty good. That's the whole key in bowl games is to be able to. There's nothing normal about the day before a game today. Our players don't have banquets during the season. The afternoon before a football game. So anyway, we're excited about playing, and we're playing a very good football team, and got great respect for Minnesota.
All right, at this time, we'll open it up to Q&A. We're going to work to provide you guys with a full transcript this afternoon. So if you could please find one of the two people with a microphone if you have a question.
Gary, has it been a challenge at all to get that sense of normalcy that this is just any other game during the 9 days or 10 days you guys have been down here?
No, I think it's been really good. I think we've had a chance to, we came here, we got here early. We didn't do much first couple of days. Allowed the players to go, make visits and do things like that. The whole key is, you see players, in these situations for their meetings and their practices. You look at effort, body language. All coaches do to make sure that you're focused and doing the right things. And I thought we've had real good practices. Attention to detail's been good, and so bottom line is you got to focus and play your best, and that's my responsibility, and certainly every player I think that feels that responsibility towards their team.
What do you see when you see Minnesota? You've looked at, obviously you get a month to look at them their whole season probably. What do you see?
Well, I know Jerry real well. I've known him over the years. He's a great coach, and you see a very well-coached football team, a very disciplined team. You see a football team that plays, great defense and limits big plays and very physical. And obviously, they run the ball well. The quarterback's a big player, does a lot of things. Very impressed with him. Tight ends, great athletes. Cobb, their running backs are just, he's very difficult to tackle. Other than that, it's going to be an easy game. So it's I just know Jerry, and what he's done at Minnesota is no surprise to me. I mean, I've known him over the years, and he's done a great job.
Coach, specifically, what is it about Coach Kill? It seems like every program he goes to, he's able to take it to.
Well, I think he's, it doesn't surprise me his success. I've known him for years. And I think he's like, all coaches. I think he always is trying to get better. He's always trying to make himself a better coach and a better program. And I think that and obviously he's got a great background. He knows what he wants to do. He does what he does. And I think he's great relationship-oriented with his players. I think when you're around him, I know his players like playing for him. They probably like the program. And so, it just is of no surprise to me that he's as successful as he's been.
When the college football playoff was created, there was kind of a concern maybe that the bowl system would be diluted or watered down. What kind of sense do you have so far of that maybe criticism and just in your experience here at this bowl game?
Well, we've been fortunate to go to a lot of bowls, and this has been as good as any. Like I said, the hospitality's been awesome. We were very excited about being selected to play here. The national prestige of this bowl game is obvious, I think, to anybody. But I think the bowl system works without question. I think the way the whole thing worked out this year was very, very positive. Some people are looking at attendance at different places, but obviously everybody likes watching football, and I think they should also look at the attendance on TV ratings, because that's millions and millions of people are watching. So I think it's working.
Hey, Coach. Last year, obviously, you guys won a January bowl game. What would be the significance of the program? In that kind of spotlight, there seems to still be some cachet to that. Those New Year's Day games. What would it mean for your program to win 2 straight?
Well, and me better than that. I don't talk about what it's like. I'll tell you that after we're fortunate enough to win. So, again, it's everybody wants to finish. Minnesota wants to finish. They've had a great year. They want to finish. And we want to. The word comes up all the time. At this time, day before the game, it's a part of all of us. but this is a very important game for us and our program.
Gary, how has Missouri been able to churn out defensive linemen like you guys have? I mean, what was the process in terms of, building it to the point where elite players wanted to come join you guys, and then targeting them, and then building them to what they are now?
Well, we have a thing we call Mizzou Made. That's a thing we're very proud of, that we think we do as good a job or better than most anyone in the country is total development of student athletes. We really sell that Mizzou Made, and I think the defensive line is a little bit like that. We recruit players. We don't overlook at stars. We recruit players that we want that are going to fit into our system, that have size, speed, potential. Craig Kuligowski has done a tremendous job as our defensive line coach. And I think what happens is when, over a period of, 8-10 years, you have first-round draft choices and a lot of players making all-conference or defensive player of the year and such. I think it just gets a little bit contagious. And so, obviously, I think we attract, young high school kids that want to be successful, that we have a name now that we've on paper, we produce a lot of really good players.
Coach, do you guys have anything special planned for Coach Steck, either before or after the game?
We've been kind of honoring him all week, a little bit. So, we're obviously dedicating this, this game to him, which is no surprise. Coach Steckel's been with me for 19 years as a coach. 5 years at Toledo and 14 years here in Columbia at the University of Missouri. So he's, I'm so happy for him because he's getting what he wants, that opportunity, and he's going to take it, and he'll do a great job there. But certainly we'll miss him, but our players certainly love him also. We got a real tight family atmosphere, but they all recognize too that that's one of his dreams, and so hopefully we can play well.
Gary, how much over your career have you tweaked or adjusted just your bowl preparation and how you get ready for a game, and what you're doing now must work because you won a couple in a row now?
Well, I think I went back to my bowl experiences when I was at Washington with Coach James, and he had a winning percentage that's better than my winning percentage in bowl games. So I think he was around 75%. I mean, he did an exceptional job there, and kind of took a lot of that format. I think there are more events, more things that go on now in bowl games than they did many years ago, and so we've kind of tweaked a few things like that. We've gone and the huge emphasis on being able to focus as players and wind down and play your best football game. And so we always evaluate everything. We always try to make ourselves 1 or 2% better every year. We're not going to all of a sudden, here's our new bowl plan. We believe in what we do, but we always are trying to make ourselves better and tweak little things here and there. So there's been little things that have changed, like we do with our football program, but the foundation of how we prepare and what we do have been the same.
Gary kind of alluded to some of the continuity of your coaching staff, and Jerry Kills much of the same way with his coaches too. What's the biggest importance of that, and why do you think it's maybe tough in this day and age with college football to keep staffs like that?
Well, Jerry and I talked about that last night, as a matter of fact, because I've known some of his coaches, for years also, and he's got such a great staff, and I've been very fortunate to keep coaches for years and years. And I think it's a twofold. I think there's a sense of security. I think that when they go to a convention and they see all these people out of jobs, to be honest with you, and there's a sense of security if you work hard, when you have some security in a very, very insecure business. I think also, I try to get my guys home to see their families every night, that they're not working until 11:30 every night, so that you can still maintain you can be a great football coach and win without getting home at midnight every night. And so I think from a family standpoint, I think that's a plus. And why they'd want to work for me, I can't answer that, so I wouldn't even go there.
Coach, can you talk about just playing a team, obviously, that has not been in a New Year's Day Bowl in 50 years? I mean, a lot of fans are coming down here, and the players are obviously excited to get that opportunity. It's a little different experience than your team has.
Yeah, for us, it's we're focused really on ourselves. Really, we'll get their best game. I know that, and they're a great football team. So we don't get caught up in all the things that they're dealing with. We get caught up in trying to play our best and prepare our best. and we focus on ourselves a lot more than our opponent. We're assuming that we'll get their greatest game, and but I think that's again. I think you look at Jerry and what he's done with that program, and it's making these kind of strides is just says so much about him and what he's done in building.
Gary, what's you guys came down on the 22nd. What's your history as a program with when you've gotten to bowl destinations, and what went into the decision to come at that point?
Well, I really wanted to come. First of all, it's because of the location and where it's at. I mean, there's so many things. I paralleled it to when I was at Washington, went to 3 Rose Bowls and 2 Freedom Bowls, which at the time were playing in Anaheim Stadium. So 5 of the 11 bowls I was at Washington. We were in around Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, all those things, and it was really good because we used to go down 14 days. So. But I wanted to go a little bit earlier just because there's so many great things to do, and I want our players to have great experience here. There's also, some belief that if you can get down a little bit earlier, it kind of gets old a little bit at the end, and you can focus up a little bit better. That'll be evaluated, 3.5 hours after the game's over with. But that was kind of the thinking about it.
Just real quick, when did you get to Dallas last year?
I don't know, 7. It's 8 days before, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Any other questions for Coach Pinkel? All right, at this time we will bring in Coach Kill for a brief photo opportunity, and then we'll get started with him.
I think they had one more question there.
Actually, hold on one second if you could get the mic because we've provided a transcript. Thank you.
I just want to ask you about the weather at all, with it being warmer and how that.
It's been great. I mean, the weather's been awesome.
In terms of the game,
yeah.
Humidity
And so I think we got some warm weather. I can't imagine it being warmer, tomorrow. But we're real concerned about rain. But we practiced on turf, so that was good for us. So it's all good.